What's up, folks? So today I'm gonna make some street tacos. Nice, hefty, meaty street tacos. You know, we ain't skimping on nothing over here. You ain't catching us lacking. But look, stay tuned. Cook! So we're gonna start off with our marinade. We're gonna use 1/2 cup of oil. 1½ teaspoons of garlic powder, 1½ teaspoons of oregano, 1½ teaspoons of cumin, 1½ teaspoons of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 2 teaspoons of minced garlic, 2 teaspoons of salt. And for the rest of our wet ingredients, we're gonna use 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, and 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Now we're just gonna whisk everything together to get all of the seasonings well incorporated. Now that our marinade is done, I took my skirt steaks, I removed the excess fat, and I actually had 2 skirt steaks, and I put them into a plastic bag or freezer bag. And what we're gonna do, we're just gonna add the marinade to that bag. And I'm just gonna get the rest of the seasoning out of the cup into the bag. So we're gonna seal the bag up. We're gonna give it a nice toss. Remember, I have both of my skirt steaks in the bag, so I added all the marinade. You can save a little on the side if you want to add to your vegetables, your onions and your bell peppers, you're gonna see later. But I used all of the marinade. So we're just gonna give it a nice toss, make sure everything is well seasoned. And what we're gonna do is, we're gonna get the excess air out of the bag, and we're gonna put it in the refrigerator for about 2 hours. I usually like to do a whole day, but 2 hours will do. And now it's on to the vegetables. I went ahead and chopped up some red bell peppers, green bell peppers, and white onions. I left them kind of julienne style. And I'm gonna use the same seasonings that I used to season the skirt steak. Just use some black pepper, salt, cumin, and chili powder. Now, like I said, you could have used some of the marinade that we used on the skirt steaks to kind of season your vegetables, but I didn't want to do that. I didn't want my vegetables to be wet when I put them on the grill, so I used dry seasonings instead. And we're just gonna give it a toss, make sure all of the vegetables are well seasoned. Now that our vegetables are seasoned, we're gonna cover that, put it on the side until it's time to use them, and we're gonna start on our refried beans. Now, sometimes the refried beans, they come seasoned already, but a lot of those cans have pork in it, and I don't eat pork. So I went ahead and I just got the plain can of refried beans, and I had to hook them up myself. So what I did is I added water to the beans just to kind of get it loose. Get it to the consistency that I want. I don't want it too loose or too thick. And once I got it to the consistency that I wanted, I went ahead and added some Saison Complete, onion powder, salt, Now I'm just eyeballing it. I'm seasoning it to eye. And also garlic powder. And we're gonna give that a nice mix. And I recommend that you taste it while you're seasoning it. That way you can get it to the flavor that you want, the salt level that you want. Meanwhile, I took the skirt steak out of the fridge and let it get to room temperature. Now we're all done with that. We're gonna get started on our skirt steaks. So to my electric grill, I added a little cooking spray. And I'm gonna get my skirt steak out of the bag, out of the marinade. It's been marinating for 2 hours in the refrigerator. So we're just gonna pull that out and flap it on the grill. And we're just gonna move it around, make sure it's all flat, close the top on it, and we're gonna cook it until it's done. And you're gonna be able to tell when it's done. The skirt steak is gonna shrink. You know, you're gonna have a nice color to it. It's gonna feel tender, you know, so it was nice and tender. It was ready to come off the grill. I let it rest for a couple minutes. Then I sliced it in half. I cut it into smaller chunks, and then we're gonna cut against the grain. So that way, when you bite your taco, there isn't gonna be any pull to it. It's gonna break smooth apart. And as you can see, it's very juicy. Not dry at all. So now I have my second skirt steak. And I'm gonna do the same. Cut it in half, then I'm gonna cut it into smaller pieces, and then cut against the grain. And now back to our electric grill. I cleaned some of the leftover juices off. I didn't clean it all off. I left a little bit in there from the skirt steaks, and I added my vegetables. And we're gonna saute that until they get soft, but not too soft. We still want them to have some kind of bite to it. And once we were done with the vegetables, I cleaned off my grill, because now we're about to start assembling the tacos. So first I'm gonna lay down the tortillas. And then I'm gonna add the refried beans. Then I'm gonna add my Mexican blend cheese. And on top of that, we're gonna add our fajita skirt steak. Then we're gonna add more cheese on top of the steak. Then we're gonna add our vegetables. And then we're gonna close the top on it until the cheese melts. Now here you go. Like I said, we're not skimping on nothing. Add some pico de gallo, some fresh chopped cilantro, and then you're ready to dig in. You know, y'all go ahead and try this out. And if you know, like I know, when you get street tacos, you had a choice of the red sauce or the green sauce or both. And me, personally, I like both. Now y'all go ahead, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment in the comment section because that tells me a lot. Until then, see y'all next time.